you. Coach, thank you for joining us on the call. If you could take a minute to tell us how your open week went as you prepare for the Halloween night trip to Memphis, please.
Well, I appreciate that. The open week is always well received this time of year. We're able to freshen up on our legs and get some of our banged up guys maybe a little more healthy, and so I think that's typical for most everybody this time of year, and so it was very positive. We had 3 days of got a little bit of work on the field, but a lot of film study and a lot of again, just kind of getting caught up on our academics and all that. And with the early game and on Friday, I say early in the week, it allowed us to change our schedule a little bit and to get started on Memphis.
Take questions for Coach Blankenship, please. Star 1 on your telephone to join the queue. The operator will introduce you.
And we'll go to Phil Stukenborg, Commercial Appeal.
Hey, Bill, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I was gonna ask you. I guess the story here is in Memphis is with you being Justin's high school coach. Talk a little bit about what you remember about him as a player, and maybe when you first met him.
Well, in a lot of ways, I think I probably got the job at Union High School partly because Justin was a sophomore quarterback, and I think the administration knew they had a future passer, and back in those days there weren't a lot of people throwing the ball around, and so I think that certainly helped me. And Justin started 3 years for us, was the player of the year in Oklahoma his senior year, was just a joy to coach, set a pretty high standard for me over my next several years in Tulsa there. But Justin's just, special young man. Whatever he was going to do, I knew he was going to do it well. But I've been very proud of him as a coach as well.
Was he a natural leader from the first time you worked with him?
Yeah, he really was. And as I said, he was a sophomore, and it might tell you something that the junior quarterback and the senior quarterback both volunteered to change positions. Because everybody knew that this guy was going to lead our team, and it was very obvious he was physically gifted. He was a big kid as a younger guy, but he was just so committed. I mean, he wanted to do all the things that it would take to be good, and so I think even as a sophomore, he was leading our team.
Was he someone you thought might succeed once he got into coaching, and did you ever try to hire him?
Oh yeah, he got in very quickly. Denver Johnson was wound up coaching him at Murray State, and Denver's on our staff here. And then when Denver went to Illinois State, he hired Justin as well. And so, if I'd ever been in a position to try to hire him, I would. But we knew, Denver knew early on, and as did I, that Justin had what it took to be a special offensive coach, and then. His experience at TCU certainly primed him and got him ready. And, it was a lot of fun to go through the process. Justin talked to me right before he was going into interview at Memphis. And, so it's kind of fun to be a part of that and to see a young man that's done so well.
Yeah, I guess the other thing I was going to ask you is just, obviously you followed his career at Memphis. Is this success, I guess, are you, I don't know if you're surprised by it, or what were your thoughts about the job he's done?
No, I'm not surprised in the least. I'm thankful that Memphis has been patient enough to allow them to get the program going, and it's not a surprise to me. I know a lot of the staff that he put together and hired, and some of them came from here, and but I don't think there's any question, given time, that he would really be able to lead and put together a program that would make everybody proud. And I think they've played very, very well this year, and obviously are turning the corner in terms of changing the expectations there at Memphis.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
And next we'll go to Dan Tortora, Broadcast Media.
Hey, Coach. How you doing today?
Good, Dan. Good to talk to you again.
Good to talk with you, too. Appreciate it. I wanted to look at, I know you talked a little bit about the bye week, but, after losing 6 in a row, coming at, I would think maybe an opportune time for you. What did you do to use that? Because obviously it's not a break in looking at film. It's not a break in, practicing and getting things right. But what can you say about having it when you had it, knowing that the team has struggled up into the point of the break?
Well, we needed to do some work both in rebuilding some confidence and just I think just the grind of a losing streak begins to wear on you. And so physically we felt like the first thing that we needed to do was to freshen up physically. And so we wanted to take some time off their legs, but we felt like that this has been a very committed group for us. I mean, they're locked in, and they've continued to fight, and they're continued to believe. And so we wanted to give them more time in the classroom, more time in the film study, and they've really embraced that. And I think they have a pretty good understanding of what's going on this week.
And then as far as when you look at some of the things that have gone on with the defensive side of the ball, allowing 40 points a game, what did you see out of your defense when you say the guys still have confidence and they took this time to really just get back to it and spend more time in the classroom with film? What's the defense learned in this bye week?
Well, I think the big thing is they've really tried to embrace each other. It's certainly been a struggle for the defense in terms of this season is really quite different from the rest that we've had. I still believe Brent Guy's one of the finest defensive coaches I've ever been around. And, he's gotten this group together, and they've made a lot of strides. Unfortunately, the corner position has been a kind of the position with a cloud over it in terms of injuries. We've lost at different times. 5 different corners have missed games because of injury. And so consequently, you get caught trying to cover for those guys or trying to protect them. And then sometimes you just can't. I mean, they're just matchups with great receivers and good throws, and it makes it very tough. And so I think mentally it's been tough on the defense to fight and claw and scratch, and then all of a sudden there's a big play where it's thrown over our heads, or we miss a tackle. And so I think that the big challenge has been for that group to really continue to rally and to believe in themselves. And you'd almost have to be at practice to understand, but it's very clear that group is a very prideful group that hadn't given up. Now they're frustrated, but they have not given up, and they're continuing to battle.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
Do you have any other questions for Coach Bill Blankenship, please? Coach, well, thank you for your time this week. Look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
Thank you, sir.